Hi everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. We are going to do a Q&A video over dinner time. So this is my sweet and savory macadamia nut dressing. It's a twist off of Fully Raw Christina's sunflower seed and macadamia nut dressing. This is my own custom version, so it's sweet, savory, kind of salty, and just absolutely hits all levels very nicely. And it's over lots of iceberg lettuce, peas, orange bell pepper, and a few taters in there that I have to use up, and that's it. So it's in my big Buddha bowl here. So this is absolutely delicious. My mouth is literally watering. So I know I'm not going to be able to eat while I'm talking here, but that's what I'm having. It's dinner time, but I figured I would go over a question with you guys though too. Alrighty, so I have my laptop in front of me because this is kind of a long paragraph, but we're going to read it first. There's questions in here, and this deserves its own video. So it's from Brooke. So hi Brooke, if you're watching. She said, "Hi Miss Staci, I have a question for you about the connection between diet and spirituality. From a yogic perspective." Okay, number one, I have never done yoga. I'm not really into yoga. I can see the benefits of it and everything, but I've just never really done yoga. So she says, from a yogic perspective, foods like fresh fruits and vegetables are considered sattvic, S-A-T-T-V-I-C. I've never heard that word before, meaning they promote clarity, peace, and a higher vibration. Conversely, foods that are heavy, processed, or derived from violence, such as meat, are considered tamasic, T-A-M-A-S-I-C, or rajasic, R-A-J-A-S-I-C. I'm sorry, I've just never come across these words before, and are believed to cloud the mind, dull the spirit, or disconnect us from higher consciousness. I believe that adopting a plant-based or vegan diet helps purify the body and mind and helps us have a stronger connection with God. What are your thoughts on how spirituality and diet are connected? Have you noticed any impact on your spiritual practices from the foods you eat? I love your content. Thank you for being such a beautiful soul. Well, thank you so much, Brooke, and thank you everybody else who comment on my videos. You are always welcome to comment. If I don't respond back right away, please don't think that I've overlooked you or I'm just ignoring you. I'm not doing that. I can't respond back to everybody, and so it's lessened a lot. So I'm trying to respond to questions and comments in videos now to make it easier. But everybody, thank you. I read everybody's comments, okay? Don't worry about that. Everybody's perspective, comments, and suggestions are always welcome on my socials. Bring them on over, everybody, so we can have a wonderful, respectful, loving conversation and help each other. So, number one, the first comment I'd like to talk about here, Brooke, for answering your question, your paragraph here, is I totally believe in that. I have done a couple of videos about the connection of food and how going raw vegan, as optimal as you possibly can, how much your connection with God really clears up. It's no joke. Over the years, it's 2025 in this video. I went raw vegan in August 2013. I was raw vegan for those first 6 years, but then I kind of incorporated some more cooked vegan food, still completely plant-based and vegan ever since I started. But now it's more high raw vegan, but definitely vegan plant-based. So 12 years vegan, that you can say high raw vegan, heavy on those high fruits, on those fruits and vegetables, whole foods, nuts and seeds, and tender leafy greens. And over the years, a lot of people have commented to me, several comments where they just can't explain it. They literally say, I can't explain it. There's just something about it. And I've heard that over and over again. And it's true. We're all human beings. We're all made in the image of God, okay? So we have a connection. Unfortunately, whether you believe it or not, the connection is there. You are just needing to go through the journey of that realization, and God's working on you to help bring you closer to Him and transforming you and making you more Christ-like. And you know what? Once those blinders are lifted off and you like, Oh my gosh, it is beautiful. It's wonderful. But yes, foods help you in that area, in that sense. Because you were talking about, Brooke, they promote the fruits and vegetables are considered sattvic, meaning they promote clarity, peace, and higher vibration. That's 100% true. There is so much peace when it comes to eating plant foods. There is something about it. There is. And I totally believe in, like, when you eat the animal products, you look how that animal is treated. And then even if you do eat it off the land, you have to shoot it with a bow and arrow, or you have to shoot it with a gun, but then you have to butcher it. I mean, there is intense trauma from the animal that is happening. And people say that that kind of goes into the meat. And some people think that's ridiculous thinking. Actually, you know what? No, it's not. In a sense, when you think about it, it's actually not, because that's the vibe that you get when you eat the foods. And I think that that is also due to the lack of vitamins, the fact that you have to cook and process meat and animal products. You have to process it and cook it to a level where it's very harmful to your body. So you're throwing your levels way off. And when you eat plant foods, you're not throwing your levels off. And especially when you eat those raw plant foods, you're definitely not throwing any of your levels off, which keeps you at much higher vibration. It's kind of hard to explain, but man, it is so true. So like she was saying, foods that are heavily processed or derived from violence, such as meat, yeah, it's considered tamasic or rajasic. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce those words. And are believed to cloud the mind, dull the spirit, or disconnect us from higher consciousness. Dr. Milton Mills talks about what you eat impacts the way we act and behave, how you act and behave. Okay, so I mean, look how, when you've done it long enough, look how much you transform when you eat plant foods, how much the transformation, and yeah, your clarity of mind to be able to listen to your heart and your spirit, what God's telling you, and you can see, it's like you step out of the box that this whole world is in, and you can see you can see what Satan has done to us and what he keeps doing. And you can see how it's affecting people, how it's affecting this world, how it has affected you, but you have beat against it because now you can see the deception, the lies, his tactics. Now you can, within the health realm, you can see that. When it comes to the life problem of health problems, that particular life problem, you can most certainly see Satan's hand. And in this life, what he is doing to everybody, what he's doing to God's creation of you, and then his creation of life, of animals and other organisms on this planet, and then what it does to the planet as a whole. And yes, we can't save everything, but we can do our part the best we can. And a big chunk of that is by not eating animal products, by not eating animals. Once you realize that you do not need them to be healthy, to be strong, to thrive, to live your life, to survive, you are opening up a door that it's literally like heaven on earth, it seems like. That's kind of one of the ways I can describe it. I don't want to say perfectly heaven on earth, but it feels like heaven on earth almost. It is amazing when you take care of your body, when you realize what your body's really meant to have. Oh my gosh, and then you see the domino effect. That's why this is not just a fad. This is not a fad diet. A lot of people say, oh, it's just a fad, it's just a phase people are going through. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's way deeper than that, than what you think. So the spirituality, so the question, one of the questions, what are your thoughts on how spirituality and diet are connected? They have a strong connection, like just what I talked about. Like what you said, Brooke, spot on. The trauma that happens with living beings. Yes, I believe that has an impact, but also the fact that, like I said before, how you have to cook it so heavily, why you have to process it. You literally have to cover it in herbs and spices in order to eat it. So you're essentially trying to keep it juicy by keeping the fluids in there to keep the you're looking for hydration and you're looking for flavor. So you're essentially trying to turn it into plant foods. So the fact of cooking it really heavily does a lot of damage to your body. And then the lack of nutrients, the lack of enzymes, the lack of amino acids, all of that. Yes, there's that in meat, but you don't need meat to get that. That's actually not a very good source to get those items that you need for your body. A better source is plant foods, is your fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, tender leafy greens, all of the plant foods. That's where you're gonna get a much better source of that nutrition that you need. So the connection is very strong. I think the enzymes and just the life that is still in plant foods, like there's a reason why God from the very beginning of time, he has Genesis 1:29, everybody kind of knows that verse. That is like the epitome of, like, from the very beginning of time, that's what God tells us what is food for us. And it still holds true to this very day. I understand there are passages in the Bible where God puts different stipulations on diet, but that I highly recommend you watch Dr. Milton Mills. I've done a lot of videos on one of his talks where he addresses this, makes total 100%. I agree 100% with him. And there was actually a video I watched recently where somebody was talking about having dominion over the animals, how God tells us he's given us dominion over the animals. So that doesn't mean we can do whatever we want with them. That's not what that means. We're made in the image of God. So he's talking about how we were made in the image of God. So God is love. He's gentle. He's kind. He's patient, right? So we need to reflect that in this life. So this is a sinful life. It's fallen. So as we journey through life, we are becoming more transformed into being more Christ-like. So this is a life lesson. I believe when it comes to becoming more Christ-like, in the area of health, it is a life lesson. That's why I've said in a lot of my other videos that changing your diet is not only about your health, but there's other lessons in it that God is using to help transform you. And I believe that's one of them. It's showing us and showing us how we can love God's other creatures, including our fellow human beings, including this world as a whole that he's created for us to live while we are here. No, it's not our heavenly home, but it's our earthly home right now. It will be our paradise home in the future with Paradise Restored, but like, how are we treating it? And a lot of people just don't care, which is very sad. That goes into another thing. But yeah, so there's a deeper life lesson in eating healthfully. There is. I truly believe that. And then our second question, have you noticed any impact on your spiritual practices from foods you eat? So for me, spiritual practices, I would say just praying, well, of course, over your food, praying for your health and everything. Have you noticed any impact on your spiritual practices? I want to say it just relates to your first question, like your connection, your ability to hear God, your ability to see the signs in your life that he's speaking to you is a lot clearer because you are a lot more alert. There's no more brain fog. There is, you're getting adequate nutrition to your brain. You're getting adequate nutrition to your organs, and everything is functioning at a much higher level and a much higher vibration. Just the life that's given inside of you when you eat plant foods, it is so much higher vibration than when you eat animal products and meat and cooked foods and those processed foods. So the impact on my spiritual practices, I want to say, when I went raw vegan, when I changed my eating habits, I've noticed over the years, especially now that I'm 12 years in, I've noticed Well, I think it's also the learning of the journey of just learning more about how God speaks to me in my life. I can see it clearly. I can feel it so clearly in my heart. Yeah, there's some times where the discernment is hard, and I know for me, I get so indecisive, and then I just don't know. And I'm learning the peace, have learned that life is a journey. You're always going to be learning, and we're just going to advance even more the more that we are in tune with it. And eating healthfully helps that. And it goes back to, like, that's another reason why I believe God created that way, because he knows the life is in the plant foods. That's what we need in order to have that more clearer connection with God. And of course, that's why Satan is just destroying our health now with meat, all animal products, processed foods and cooked foods. You see how rampant it is throughout the years, see how much destruction it has caused, and see the connection that has been cut off from people in this world, and just the life problem of life itself from other living beings in this world, and then yourself too. I mean, your body is not your body. Your body is the temple for the Holy Spirit to reside in, and this is the body God has provided for you while you are on this earth to do those purposes that he's created for you to do while you're here on this earth. Okay, so if you're going to do the purposes that he has for you, the gifting and the talents and everything, and to be here for other people like he needs you to be, the world needs you, God needs you. You have to take care of the temple. And the more you destroy it, the less time that you have to make a difference, the less time you have on this earth to do what God has called you to do. But of course, it is your choice, though. He gives us free will, so you can choose. But again, that comes to your desire. How much do you desire to want to become more Christ-like? How much do you desire to really want to do what God has for you? Part of that is taking care of yourself by eating properly, and so you can hear him better, so you can live longer, you can hear him better, and so you can do the purposes he's called you to do. And so you can make those wonderful memories, and he can bless you more and more, and you can have much more of a fuller, richer experience of life. Like Jesus died for us so we can have life abundantly, right? He did. So not only that, but then the plant foods, when we take, that's why, you know what, that's why I say the two best things that you can do for yourself in this life is, number one, getting your soul saved, becoming a believer in Jesus Christ, and admitting that you're a sinner, and believing in God, following him the best that you can. No, I'm not perfect. I can tell you right now, I'm not perfect. I mess up, I screw up, but I definitely try, because I want love. I want love, gentleness, kindness. I want to follow God. I want to do what he has for. I love how he's created me. I glorify him in that way too. And but number two, the second best thing that you can do in this life is going vegan, going plant-based, going raw vegan, optimizing your health the best that you can. That's why I don't see this as a fad diet like a lot of people are out there, how they see this. They see it as losing weight, or they do it just to lose weight, or they do it because that's the trend now. No. I know I do it for way more reasons than that. That is on actually the bottom of my list, really, because there's so much that goes into eating healthfully that it's way more than what people think. It really is. And when it comes to the life problem of our spiritual health, I guess when it comes to our spiritual health, that's where veganism excels as well. It excels in our physical body, it excels in our mental health, our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health. Everything about the body, the plant foods, help aid that. And that is why I believe God has created it that way. Genesis 1:29 from the very beginning. So the spiritual practices, the effects, it just clears it up even more, which is absolutely beautiful. And the more we travel through this life, the more we improve. Even if there's setbacks, you are still moving forward, okay? You're still learning. There are people that comment to me that they went off of veganism, but they're ready to get back on it. See, it's a journey. It is very hard. This world, Satan is working hard, like to come after you, especially in the health or in just your entire life. But when you look at the health aspect, he's coming after you hard in that area as well, because he knows that's what can bring you down, can depress you, can make you frustrated, can even kill you at an early age too. He knows that. That's why he works pretty darn hard at it. And actually, I believe that's why he works pretty darn hard at it too, but also because it's the battle between God and Satan. That's the spiritual battle right now, but he uses us to get to God too. And so I saw an Instagram post that was pretty good, and it said, you are so important that Satan and God are battling to have you for eternity. Now that puts it in big perspective, okay? Satan's battling hard to have you in hell with him for eternity. God is battling pretty hard to get you in heaven with him and Jesus for eternity. And so you are important, okay? This is a battle between God and Satan, of course, but we're in the middle of it, okay? And all you have to do is follow God. And one way you can do that also to help clear up whatever blockages that you have in your spiritual health, or like just another way of beating Satan's tactics, is you can beat him in the area of health by going vegan, okay? By sharing it with other people. Actually, you don't even have to share it with other people. You can just do your own vibe and it radiates to other people. I can't tell you enough how much I do my thing, what I know God has brought me to, and people just say, there's something about you, Staci, and they end up asking questions about it. They start ending up asking questions about how I am and everything, and it all leads to God, and then it rubs off on them, and I lovingly, gently tell them, and only what they want, what they're asking, no pressure, no timeline or anything, and that rubs off on them. I planted the seed, and God makes it bloom. And that's how you change the world. That's another way you can beat Satan's tactics. Alrighty, everybody, so if you are craving more, just remember I'm on other socials as well. I'm on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. I have my own Etsy shop and DeviantArt page. Obviously, I'm here on the YouTube, but the link to those websites are in the description down below if you are interested. So just remember to love being raw, vegan, plant-based, whole foods, whatever floats your little boats. Just remember to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself the best that you know how. Have a lovely day today. I put a big old smile on your face today. I hope I did that for you. Take care, everybody, and I will see you next video. Bye, guys.